Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Silent Verdict, and they have a new album called Condemned. It must be said this way, which was released on April 30th via Wormholedeath Records. Right now, I'm being joined by Mattias, Ricky, and Johan to share some more information about this stellar release, why the boys are condemned via a silent verdict, why they are forsaken, why they are gone. So, boys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to have you guys on. One of the first things I actually wanted to chat about was you guys recently got signed to Wormholedeath.
Yeah.
Take us through that experience. Did you guys have an album ready to go and you were shopping? Was it like a demo? How did the conversation go?
Well, basically, we got contacted by a guy named Jonathan Matteo, and it was during the period where we had just released our first EP as well, and we had just started doing some demos because we were all thinking it would be nice to do a full-length album, and basically he just contacted us via the email and said, "Hey, I like your music. I found you guys on Facebook or YouTube. I can't remember." So he said, "Look, I got this record company I work with, Wormholedeath, and if you guys are interested, I can hook you up with them. So if you have some materials, just send them to me, and we will check out your music." And at the time, I think we had 2 demos ready. Yeah. So we sent them the demos, and they said, like, "Yeah, this sounds good. This can be something." So we decided to work with them. Like, we agreed to do like 5 demos, and when we have done those 5 demos, both parts felt like, yeah, we really want to go ahead and sign.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And then Signore Matteo out of Italy, who works for here in Canada. Like, so there's 2 studios in Canada. There's the Grid with Christian Donaldson.
Yeah.
And then, they work with Jonathan Matteo over in Italy. I think it's called the Grid in Italy, but I could be wrong.
The Grid did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Definitely not a couple of lightweights, especially Christian Donaldson over here in Canada. Definitely known for some brutal stuff. So did you guys then record with either of those 2 guys?
Yeah, we recorded the album with Jonathan in Italy, in his studio. It was back in September. We flew there mid-September and stayed there for 3 weeks in the studio and recorded the whole album.
Wow. September 2020 or 2019?
2020, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I did not know that you could do that. That is fantastic.
Yeah, that was fantastic because with this pandemic and everything, I think we were really lucky because at the end of the summer here in Sweden, the restrictions started to kind of let loose a bit, and we checked out everything if it was okay to go to Italy, and yeah, we just had to follow the restrictions and, fill in a form, like a health form for entering the country of Italy. So everything went really smooth. And like 1 week after we came back in mid-October, everything went back to kind of lockdown again. So we had this nice window just fit perfectly with everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you said you had spent 3 weeks. Was like 2 weeks of that spent quarantining? Like, was that part of the procedure?
No, because the studio was, you had to like promise that you gonna stay in the same place the whole stay.
Yeah.
So the quarantine was in the studio. So we were lucky like that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think anybody realizes that being in a studio is basically quarantining.
Yeah, because we had everything. We had our bunks, we had the kitchen, we had the studio, everything in the same building. So the only time we had to leave the house was for like going for walks and going to the grocery store. And then everyone had to wear the face mask at all times and, you know, just follow the regular restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Going to the grocery store in Italy, how is that different from going to the grocery store in Sweden?
Not so much different, but
the language.
The language, yeah. Reading the labels, it was kind of difficult at some times, but yeah. You know, they have the basic stuff, the beers, the meat, pasta.
You have the beer in the grocery store.
Yeah. We don't have that in Sweden. No.
Oh, wow. Jeez Louise. Okay. Recording with Signore Matteo, does he still have that really awful floor with the checker pattern on it?
No, not that I can recall.
The black and white checker?
This was quite a new studio.
Yeah,
he just moved there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it your first band in that studio?
Second band, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are so humble. No, we were the second band.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, he used to have this, hopefully he's not listening in, he's probably going to get offended and write me an email. This floor in his old studio where they would track like drums and things. And obviously it still sounded great, but just it looked like they were on a big chessboard. It was weird.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you got there and like, oh, the chessboard is here. Fantastic. This is going to sound awesome.
You know, like black and white squares or something?
Yeah. And it looked really... Okay, good. Because it looked weird.
I can imagine.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. Okay, totally random question. Is that a picture on the wall from IKEA?
Yeah. Of course. We're Sweden.
Sitting on an IKEA couch even. That's... Yeah?
Everything is IKEA.
Okay, perfect. Because we have a picture on our wall. Not the same picture, but similar frame and style and everything. Also from IKEA. I'm on an IKEA desk right now, actually.
It's the best.
It is the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to put together, but
cheap.
But cheap.
Yeah.
That's why it's so cheap, because it's hard to put together.
Yeah. You have to buy two because you smashed the first one.
Oh, no. Well, it was gone, forsaken, and condemned, which I guess brings me to the next question, which is, okay, so you guys flew to Italy in the middle of a pandemic to go hang out with Jonathan. Did you get a chance to hang out with the guys from Wormholedeath too, or was that not allowed?
Yeah, our guy named Carlo that contacted us, he actually came by and visited. I think the last day of our stay, and he was just going to check how everything had been and so on. So we actually got to meet him in person, so that was really nice too.
Mm-hmm. Was he taller than you thought? Shorter than you thought?
Shorter.
Oh, no. Well, you guys are Swedish, so you're probably all like 8 or 9 feet tall, right?
Yeah, we're all pretty tall, except our singer. He looks like an Italian.
Oh, no. Okay, that's actually a really good question. Did you guys then stand out? Because you guys are probably at least 2 meters tall, right?
Yeah, 2 of us are.
Yeah, almost. I think you're like 195 centimeters.
Yeah.
I'm 193, and you are
184.
Yeah.
I'm the smallest of us.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. What were you guys looking for in terms of sound? Because obviously at the grid, they could do anything. I've heard all kinds of stuff come out of the grid. And your guys' sound is fairly unique. I actually get a little bit of a Lamb of God kind of sound as well. If I remember correctly, not so much on Gone, but on I Am Forsaken, I definitely got a lot of that kind of sound. Was that something you guys did consciously on the way in? Was there something you were looking for in terms of the sound?
Absolutely, yeah. We had. He asked us if we had some kind of reference when we went into the studio, like for the drums. And I think we actually. You said that you wanted to have the Lamb of God snare.
No, not snare.
No.
That's a little piggy, but yeah, the reference was like Lamb of God in volume terms and something like that. And we liked, I don't know what album it was. Sacrament. Yeah. And we liked the big picture of all that album. So we chose that one. And I don't know, Arch Enemy?
Yeah, also I think we said Arch Enemy, one album.
Wow.
What is it?
War Eternal.
War Eternal, yeah. So we kind of had like a mixed reference of Arch Enemy and Lamb of God going into the studio.
I just had like a schism split in my head, like as an engineer, like, okay, so you got Lamb of God over here, and then you've got Arch Enemy over here, like, ah! So did you want drum samples or not? Which one? Just kidding. Though I don't hear any drum samples really, and if there are, they were done very well. So
no, I don't think
no samples.
No.
Yeah, because the funny thing is that Tune Track did a thing with Lamb of God drummer, so it's like, well, if you want him, then just program the MIDI, run it through the Tune Track thing, and bam, there it is.
No.
No.
Don't even think about it.
You'll have.
Yeah, there's bass now.
Easy guitar.
And then you'll have everything that you need all in one plugin.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so I definitely picked up on the Lamb of God thing. Now, as far as the actual music itself is concerned, what is this album about? Is there a theme to this album, Condemned?
Yeah, it's a shame our singer isn't here because he's the mastermind of the lyrics and stuff. So, but the theme about the whole album is kind of yes and no in a conceptual way, because every song kind of fits together if you read the lyrics closely, but at the same time they doesn't fit together, if you understand what I mean. So the album is kind of about social injustice, suffering, agony, psychological issues. Yeah, so it's kind of a blend. Also, we put in some fiction in there, like the demonic and vampirism and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So then is that kind of like a protagonist or an antagonist? Like,
yeah, you could say it's. I think it's called a protagonist. Yeah.
Basically, a hero to our story. So you mentioned some things that obviously are not fiction.
Yeah, we have one song about the serial killer Ted Bundy, so it's also a mixed reality.
Ted Bundy! Why Ted Bundy all of a sudden? Why Ted Bundy? Talk to me about Ted Bundy.
Well, I guess you probably had to ask our singer because he got the idea, but...
guys, I got it. Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy is a very interesting person, I think.
Yeah, I think he saw the documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix, so he just had to rap about it.
Yeah, got inspired.
Yeah, when you listen to true crime podcasts and those stuff, he always comes up.
Yeah.
So, it inspired him to write the song.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading up a little bit on Wikipedia about Ted Bundy just to refresh, the old noggin. So if anybody's interested, I guess, and you don't want to sleep tonight, then go ahead and look into that. Something else you mentioned was social injustice. Is that something, and I'm obviously, singer's not here, but is that something related at all to 2020 and a lot of the issues that came up relating to social injustice, psychological health, mental health, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think if you look at it in some way, it could be looked at it, but most of the stuff was written before the pandemic, so We have one song, "Panic." It's about getting panic attacks from severe anxiety and stuff. So I guess you could relate to it, because obviously people suffer more and more from this pandemic, from psychological issues like being isolated, and yeah. But I think you could relate in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't have any of those issues. I've never had so much fun in my life, actually. Being isolated. I'm like, great, keep me away. Actually,
yeah.
I saw a meme the other day that said you don't realize something about like how antisocial you are until a pandemic hits and your life doesn't change. If anything, you're happier. I'm like, I guess so.
It didn't matter.
But definitely for a lot of people out there, I notice I've been seeing a lot more ads for such things, especially panic attacks these days. And then as well, reading stats from Health Canada that in Canada alone, things like suicides have risen by 40%.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It is. So definitely, if anybody is feeling condemned or forsaken or whatever in a true sense, or knows somebody, then definitely reach out for some help, because the help should be available and is available, even if it's remotely at this time. Cool. Okay, or not so cool. But that's kind of my transition into the next thing. Like, people are dying and moving on. So,
anyway,
and moving on from there. I guess then the next question is, what's the plan for the rest of the year? Because typically we'd be talking about your summer plans. You'd be playing Download Festival and Vakken and
Of course.
Well, I think our plan is we have to watch closely what happens with the pandemic. More and more people are getting vaccines, so we don't know at what rate it's going to be allowed to play, like on an open stage outside in the summer. That may be a possibility. So we look forward to have some kind of release fest for this album. If it doesn't go that way, we have to look into the possibility that maybe we can live stream a show and broadcast it over the internet, and just try and be open with our fans, like answering messages, being out there on social media, showing that we exist. We exist, yeah. Yeah.
We're still here, guys.
We're still here.
Don't mind us. We're just putting together IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
Eating meatballs and going grocery shopping.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh.
But, we try to stay positive, even if it sucks to release our first full-length album in the middle of the pandemic. We try to stay positive and look at different kinds of scenarios that we can use to reach out to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the live stream, which bands either like it or they really don't. Have you guys tried anything like that yet?
No, that's really unexplored territory for us. So we don't know how it's going to go. But it will be cool to try out, definitely.
Mm-hmm. You just got to pretend people are there. Like,
yeah, just gotta pretend.
You right there, you're rocking out too hard. Boom. Have somebody like throw panties at you or something. Like somebody from behind the camera, like, oh, what's that? Oh, panties. Oh, you guys are too kind. Boom. And then boom.
Yeah, we can pay some guys for that.
That's right. Okay, sweet. So we chatted about signing Wormholedeath. We chatted about how you got to meet Carlo. You got to chatted about how you went to the Grid in Italy with Jonathan Matteo, and you went grocery shopping, and the signs were in Italian at the grocery store in Italy. And we chatted about mental health. We chatted about social injustice. We chatted about Ted Bundy. We chatted about... What else we chatted about? Some songs. I Am Forsaken, Gone. Condemned as an album, the theme. production-wise, we chatted about everything Lamb of God except for the pingy snare. And did I miss anything? We chatted about live streams. You guys might try some live streams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that sums it up really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, boys, is there anything else before we disconnect?
Well, we just want to thank you for having us. It's been really fun to get this opportunity. Guys,
Yeah. I agree.
Groovy. All right. Well, I'm glad the bass player finally said something. We got him to show up. The next part is...
Yeah, we got it to show up.
Yeah.
I just got meatballs in my head now.
That's right. He's like,
My meatballs.
It's like, where's the damn meatballs? Guys, come on.
Yeah, we gotta feed him now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that one beer from Sweden. There's probably a lot of beers from Sweden. Falcon? Is that?
Yeah. Oh, bro.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Boom. Okay. Fantastic, boys. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you very much.